to maybe steal a win, even though I know I'm beat. Up there's the GG. So Dopamine falls to Legless Puppy. Legless Puppy leading 1-0 in this best of 3 series here at the IG Alpha Divisional number 8. Brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to itsgosu.com. Check out everything that we have to offer the entire esports community, not just StarCraft 2, but also League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, and many, many more to come. There's so much cool stuff that we're doing. And, of course, we're doing, as always, our great Magic the Gathering card giveaway for those special edition Planeswalker Series Magic cards that were only available at the 2010 New York Comic Convention. So, yes. As a matter of fact, Tal'Darim is on the list, and I think that's where he's going to go for that. That's
yes,
awesome.
Absolutely.
But yes, you can win those special edition Magic cards, basically by just being a follower of ours on JustinTV/TwitchTV.com. Then just send me an email at contest@itsgosu.com. I was getting ready to give away my business email. That would have won you anything. But yeah, contest@itsgosu.com. Let me know that you want to win free Magic cards, and just give me your nickname there for TwitchTV/JustinTV.com, and you can win yourself a pack of Magic cards tonight. Again, Mr. Mini-Me isn't here, so we're going to give away 2 packs again tonight. He told me just 1, but he's not here to say otherwise, so I'm going to promise you now we're going to give away 2 packs tonight, so he can't get too mad. So yes, so if you want to win 1 of 2 packs, just send me an email, contest@itsgosu.com, and we'll pick the winner in the final game. So you have till the semifinal, the last match of the semifinal round,
right,
to enter into the contest. Tell them about our sponsor that gave us that cool stuff there.
Well, of course, our sponsors, the guys helping make this possible, is of course brought to you by itsgosu.com, by our lead sponsor, SteelSeries, and of course by cyberground.us. That's going to be the site of our next IG Live LAN. There was a question in the stream chat there about that. It's going to be at cyberground.us on June 25th. So coming up very, very soon is going to be our next live LAN. Max Integration, and the sponsor responsible for all of those great Magic cards, San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So I'm going to pop up the hot new music credit screen we have. Check that out, guys. That's right, all the music you're hearing tonight brought to you by Ronald Jinkies and Machina Supremacy, as well as our opening song, Battle by Halotopic. Check that out at halotopic.newgrounds.com. Machina Supremacy, what you're rocking out to, headbanging your little nerd heads to in the background. Hopefully everyone's down with that. So moving into Game 2, going to be GSL Tal'Darim Altar, the second matchup of this ZVP matchup between Dopamine and Legless Puppy. And I'll tell you, man, Puppy looked damn sharp. Like, he looked just so solid. Like, he didn't miss a beat the entire match.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that, and yeah, it just looked like both of them were right on target for them. For the most part, we're right on target. Dopamine fell a little, well, I was just saying a little bit, but a whole lot a bit behind as after that first engagement. You really should have either popped a macro hatch or popped the expansion. That would, again, if you're a Zerg and you're uncomfortable about taking an expansion, just put it down a macro hatch, and that really will save you a ton of
right. Yeah, you're still going to be behind economically, but at least you can keep up in production for a time,
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now we got Tal'Darim Altar right there. We got it. Boom. Now Dopamine's going to be Terrence. It's going to be TVP.
Oh, I love it.
Our lock and key matchup.
I keep yes, I keep forgetting that he rolls random. Just so friggin' baller. But yeah, TVP action. Dopamine trailing Legless Puppies 0-1 in this best of 3 series, so he's gonna have to try and get back on his feet, so to speak. But Legless Puppy, a guy who doesn't worry about feet, he's just gonna roll his way at you and do what he can to roll over top of you. See what I did there? How cute is that? Because now everyone's thinking of a puppy with no legs rolling across the floor trying to roll over somebody. This is why I was an English major. That's exactly right. I paint mental images for folks. So Legless Puppy going to be our brushed red, as Red Mage likes to call it, pink Protoss player in the top right here, and Dopamine spawning as our Terran hero up at the top right, and Legless Puppy, I think I said right, he's actually at the left. So gonna be, and this is in these spawn positions on Tal'Darim Altar in a TVP, just because the aggression, there tends to be a lot of drops, and there tends to be a lot of proxy forward pyloning and all that. So essentially in this kind of a matchup, you see the map effectively cut in half. You don't see players making use of anything much south of this northernmost Xel'Naga tower, which makes the map kind of small, unless of course you get to a a mid-game or an extended mid-game or a late game, around that 20-30 minute mark, then you see bases just crop up all friggin' over the place.
Oh yeah, and that is something that is great with this kind of real estate that you have available to you. It looks like we might be going for a wow, I've totally spaced out. I was inside Legless Puppy's base, but or I thought I was, and I was seeing a barracks go down. I'm like, he's gonna put a barracks right in his base.
He's gonna put a barracks right in his friggin' base, man.
Right in his friggin' base, man. It's awesome. Oh yeah, no, it was wrong side. Wow, I'm just again, I blame this on the fact that I don't know if you've ever gotten a song stuck in your head, AC, and I know I told you this earlier.
We talked about
I have that
this.
song. Yeah, I have that song from Robot Unicorn Attack stuck in my head, and it's. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's definitely one of those
It's
things.
awesome, is what it is.
It's so awesome. And your mind just can't cope with it. That's exactly what I'm going through.
I'm gonna try and track down.
My mind was blown last game.
I'll tell you what. In between games, if we get caught in a spot where we don't have a game to cast and we're having a vamp, I'll see if I can track that down and play it for the viewership so they can be infected with the earworm the same way you and I happen to be. Forge fast, expand out a Legless Puppy. Forge down, then the gateway. And I'm a little. Okay, this I don't really get. This is actually one of the more narrow chokes you can actually block with a Forge and a Gateway and a Cybernetic Score, or even just a Forge and 2 Gateways. I'm not the biggest fan of this kind of a block-off, and oh no, he's delaying his Nexus so late. And this is a mistake I think a lot of players make when they Forge Fast Expand. You cannot delay your Nexus till 20 supply, 21 supply, without falling very, very far behind, because you don't have the economy to get the Nexus up while producing out of the Gateway or getting any kind of upgrades. So the fact that he's delayed this Nexus, and again, it's a mistake I made when I was what do we call him? A younger league Protoss player, right when I first got the game. If you're going to do a Forge Fast Expand, it has to go Forge then Nexus on 15, otherwise you're just hopelessly behind.
Oh yeah, and smart move here, Dopamine. Go on and taking that expansion right there. Probably assuming. I believe I did see his SCV go in there and see the wall going.
Never
in.
mind, he's faking it. He's faking the Forge Fast Expand. He's actually getting up a robotics facility immediately. So he's going one gate robo after faking the Forge Fast Expand. Now this I can dig. A little bit of trickeration here out of the pup and Dopamine. The Dopamine knows he's in a pretty good situation to respond. I mean, he's only facing one gate, one robo, so I'm not going to see any kind of crazy pressure. And he's already got his command center 3/4 of the way complete. So long as he can transition out of this and make use of his expanded economy in an effective way, he's going to be in just fine shape against Legless Puppy's little fake out here.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Sorry,
I heard you type. And anytime I finish a comment, I hear tickety tack tack tack. It's like he's chatting with the streamers, chatting with the streamers.
Yes, it is. For those of you who did want to know, it is $20 for the entrance into the IG LAN event.
Right.
At Cyberground on the 25th. It's just $20. Covers you for the entire tournament. Half of it, of course, goes to the venue. Half of it goes to the prize pool. So
right.
We definitely want to see as many people as we possibly can out there, because the more people that there are, the higher the prize pool gets, and it is a pretty awesome. It can get pretty high.
Oh yeah,
right there, especially with all the cool stuff that, of course, our sponsors are going to be giving us to give away as well. So yeah, if you're anywhere within 2 and 3 hours of the event of Cyberground there in Fairfax, Virginia, come on by, and it's always going to be cool. And AC and I will be there for reals. And
in the flesh, man. You can come shoot spitballs at us while we cast or whatever else. We do have a pretty sick little casting station that we use though.
Yeah, we do have a nice little thing for those of you who may have been there. I know Dark was there, and I know a couple of people. I don't know anybody in the immediate stream, but there was a couple of people that really commented on how awesome that thing looked, and it was pretty baller. And Scan goes down now for Dopamine. Doesn't really get a chance to see anything, and I think that might tell him everything.
Oh, exactly.
Right there.
Exactly. So we see the pup did go ahead and get down his Nexus. So this was basically.
I love that you call him the pup. That's awesome.
The pup got his Nexus down, but he's I guess you'd call this a very elaborate sort of one gate expand, one gate robo expand. I mean, it's and I don't even know if he meant to do it, to be honest. He may have just changed his mind, and no one will ever admit this. There have been times whenever I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and Forge Fast Expand, and maybe he assumed his opponent was going to be Zerg again. I bet that's what happened. Now that I think about it, got his SCV over. It was like OF. He's rolled random, so he's tearing this time. So he just said, nope, not going to Forge Fast Expand. I'm going to go ahead and get up the one gate, one robo, one gate. build, which is a pretty standard build against Terrans. The Immortal helps to deal with Marauders. You can get the sentries out pretty quick. So he just basically did the best transition he could after forgetting that his opponent was a Terran and not a Zerg. I would wager anything that's exactly what happened.
Right, and it's just one of those things when you're rolling random. I'm paranoid about that. Anytime I see somebody roll random, you always want to send something out.
Warp Prism warping in a couple of Zealots here. They're going to make it in and be able to do a little bit of damage. So they're going to take down one SCV and immediately work their way into the mineral line. Going to make 2 SCVs to the death count. And now they're pulled. 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs doing a little bit of damage. 5 SCVs. Now, if I were the pup here, I would pull back immediately, load up into the Warp Prism, and go home. And I think that's one reason you don't see as much harassment out of Protoss players as I think we will as the game develops. Is everyone treats the Warp Prism as an all-in unit. It's like, well, I'm just going to warp in 4 Zealots and let's hope they do damage before they die. That's a 400 mineral investment, man. You can't just throw away 400 minerals. So if he had just killed 4 or 5 SCVs and loaded them back up and put him in here and flown to where he is now, that would have been some beautiful harassment. Oh
yeah, and and the Warp Prism is such a versatile unit because not only can you load up and do an insta drop, but you can also open it up as a pylon, and that's just freaking ridiculous, right there. I love that unit, and it's so sad that we don't see more of it. And it was a very smart timing right there by Legolas, because he actually went in, killed the 2 SCVs that were making the 2 supply depots, which basically supply blocked Dopamine. So if he was able to if he was at the same time warping in more units, I don't think Dopamine could have caught up, instantaneously. He would have definitely had to wait and wage war to get those SCVs in there to finish those up, or at least try to build it somewhere else, and that would have created an even more of an
tanks are going to be sieging up down here, down at the bottom of the expansion. The Stalkers are going to spot it, but it doesn't matter. The Observer was following that army, but they get in a position. A good scan gives him high ground vision. Now is he going to be able to continue to expend scans? This is kind of the problem with this tactic. Unless you've got something that flies, this is why it's always such a great idea to get just one medevac, not to even heal, only to give you high ground vision, or even a Raven, especially against a Protoss player. If you can get a Raven out, you have the PDD to always try and bail you out. Oh, now here we go. 3 Immortals going to be able to handle these tanks quite easily. And right now, Dopamine needs to pull back home. Good call there, buddy. He just doesn't have the personnel right now to deal with 3 high-ground Immortals. But I'm liking this. I'm liking this here in our alpha. Sometimes you don't see a lot of this. A lot of early-game poking. We saw a little bit of Warp Prism drop harassment. And, yeah, we got a more drop harassment. Just saw the Zealot back home. So he warped in again. How many kills does he have? He's got 4 kills. Okay, so not a ton. Looks like he probably killed a few SCVs and probably pulled the rest of them. Yeah, that's a very super saturated expansion, so pulled them down there. And taking his 3rd now, going with the, hey, you know what? I tried to attack, but I know I did some damage, so you're not going to counterattack. That makes me feel safe, so I'll get a 3rd.
Oh, yeah, and, wow, Dopamine was a little off in going in there. He probably could have taken out that Warp Prism. I don't think Legolas was really paying attention to the mini-map / camera because, Dopamine was, within mere yards of being able to take that Warp Prism down. If he had just moved them just a little bit more to the right, you just gotta put him in the, put him in the peninsula.
Put him in gas! Put him in gas! Oh, wait.
But I do like Dopamine taking that 3rd base down a little bit farther.
Right.
A little bit
it's
farther
good timing.
It's
good timing.
It's good time.
And especially now he's going to move out with some harassment. We're going to see another Observer skirting just down below. Let's see, did he get a look? No, he did not spot them, so he's not going to see those coming in. But two medevacs now moving in, one with 1 Marauder, 1 tank, and 2 Marines, another with 6 Marines and 1 Marauder. And this could be some pretty effective harassment depending on the placement. The Immortals, of course, will be able to move in and clean it up. Is he going to go? Yeah, he's going to go. Nope, not straight for the mineral line. I like that. It's going to take what the terrain gives him. Siege is up. Now he's got to control this just right. There we go. Stalker's basically going to be eaten alive. Bad call there by Puppy. Needs to get those the hell out of the way. And if he can just deal with a couple of these pylons, can make a big difference. Yeah, now he's going to try and load up and go home. Going to leave the siege tank to its fate. Not a problem, he says. Oh, no. 13 hit points. 13 hit points, but that was the unloaded medevac relatively, so... but yeah, he's going to be able to get those back home. Throwing away the most expensive unit in the mix, though. But I'm doing a little bit of damage, and for the cost of 1 siege tank. Oh, wow, he actually managed to pick off that 2nd pylon. I was paying attention to the medevac, so he just took 3 gates out of production. So that's actually quite a cost-effective harassment there.
Oh, yeah, definitely set Legless back just a little bit there. And now we see Puppy doing a great job there, throwing down that pylon right where that previous drop hit, just to give him a little bit more vision. But, yeah, you know, the great thing about what Dopamine did there, not only that, but not only did he just go in